cayman@gmail.com.
The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bride.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Talk Today is brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered. Visit cineco.ky for your quote today.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands foremost listeners participation program.
Talk Today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up, we hear about a new music group that is forming in the Cayman Islands to represent musicians. And later we open phone lines so you can let us know what's on your mind. Talk Today's next, right here on Radio Cayman. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. Thank you for tuning in on a hot Wednesday afternoon. Well, at least it is Wednesday. So we know Friday's somewhere out there, right? It's close by. So keep your chin up. I hope that you're keeping up with all the different things that the government and other entities, I guess, want your feedback on. Yeah, there's all kind of things out there now in circulation that they want to get your opinion on, you know. There's the Residential Tenancies Amendment Bill. That's now in the process of public consultation. It's out there for 6 weeks, seeking feedback from tenants, landlords, and the public on replacing the existing commissioner with a new Residential Tenancies Commission. There's that's going to be going until the 20th of September, and then there's protected area nominations. You know, all the if you care about the environment, this is one for you. The National Conservation Council is gathering comments on designating the Ironwood Forest. That's out there by UCCI. Designating the Ironwood Forest and the Bluff Lighthouse National Park on Cayman Brac as protected areas under the National Conservation Act. There's also a major healthcare legislative package. There's a sweeping reform on the table, covering a new public health bill, environmental health bill, and a health practice amendment bill, and tobacco amendment bill. And that's, of course, concerning vaping restrictions. So there are going to be community town halls are happening now and leading to a formal 28-day public consultation opening on the 21st of August. And cannabis reform and the national lottery. That was part of a referendum that people gave their opinion on, and now they want to know what kind of details you want on it. I know Rambo has had his recommendations put in. He told us that. He has given them, his rundown on how that should work. So make sure you get yours in. So those are some of the things you got to keep up with. We've got a lot of things happening in Cayman as far as public issues. So, be a good citizen. Give your recommendations. Well, on Monday, I read an article in the Compass by dietitian Taryn Steen. The headline was, Cayman is eating by other countries' rule books. And the point of the article was that, since Cayman has no official guidelines as to what is a healthy diet, that we end up following guidelines from North America or the UK. Now, of course, those guidelines are based on what people eat in those countries. They aren't necessarily culturally in tune with, local traditional diets, and also what people can afford to eat. Is food being imported and so forth. Big difference in the cost of food. So, as I may have mentioned a couple of times on there, I try to, watch the weight and, eat healthy. And salad, romaine lettuce, tomato, big item on my menu, especially at lunchtime or something, right? Gotta just eat the lettuce and, hopefully that's going to take some weight off. But, along with a little exercise, which I've been trying to do. But anyway, after I read that article, what was it, Monday, I guess, yeah. I was hungry. I went to lunch and I said, the heck with the romaine lettuce. I'm eating culturally. So I got me a nice big serving of white rice covered by salt beef and beans. Yep, I dove into that. And hey, I felt like I had to eat something. So I don't know how that fits in with the guidelines, but anyway, it tasted good. I felt full and satisfied for my lunch. I guess you wouldn't want to eat that stuff every day, but it certainly did the job on Monday. Well, in the studio with me this afternoon are two Caymanian musicians, and they are out to form a new association for Caymanian musicians. And joining me now to tell us why they are forming this new association are Roy Mitch Ebanks. You probably know him better as Highlight, as we all do. And also here in the studio is Tony Ebanks. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Talk Today studio. I hope you all are doing good.
Thankful, Charo, especially to be accommodated by such an elaborate studio.
Tell us why it is that you are forming this new musicians association.
Well, Charo, for starters, like it has been said that necessity is the mother of invention. And for probably the last 4 to 5 years, especially the last 4 or 5 years, we have been, under misrepresentation. Actually, in no representation. And a group of us for the last 5 to 6 months been tossing about and came under the deliberation that we have to get something new rather than try to revive CMEA, which was the current music association that governs, most of the things that fall under performers or, entertainment in general. Because that whole thing is so stigmatized, that whole organization has been so stigmatized and it's just totally tarnished, so much so that another reason that we decided to form something from afresh with a new direction, new objectives would be that it's presently under a police criminal investigation. That's as much as I can say at this time in that regards. But that was one of the deciding factors also of us trying to start something afresh and anew. We want to have something that we can all be proud of and feel that we have a belongership. And, things such as, to actually cultivate. Because in the Cayman Islands, we don't really have any more than, say, just a mere music scene. We was under the perception that it should be something more like, may not become major, but some form of industry, such as, including more things like taking, the show on the road to various districts, going into old people's, like the old people homes, Golden Age home, performing for them a few times a month, and trying to encourage the youths to actually take music more serious, get serious with their instruments, and try to hone them skills more. And also that we would have like entertainment calendar, like an entertainment calendar, which could say we having some little mini concerts. We're starting from scratch, and there's no funds allocated yet for that type thing, and it takes money to move the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I also believe that where there's a will, there's always a way. It's just a matter of us coming under a unification to make a concerned effort to actually drive this project forward, something that we can always be proud of, and that it has a true meaning of what it's supposed to be. So that's just for starters. I can fill you into some more details as we go along, if you have any other questions.
So you are basically turning your backs, Tony, on this CMEA, and let that be whatever happens on its own. You're not going to be concerned with that.
Yeah, that's correct.
Just come a little close to
Yes, that's correct. We don't want any part of that because we see where it's better to move forward with a new association. And I second everything that Holly just outlined. And I've been part of this for quite some time, and I am also one of the driving forces behind getting this new association. And we wanted to work for everybody, for all Caymanian people. That's a musician, a DJ, a rapper, a dancer, a comedian, whatever the talent is what we want all of that stuff involved into the music association, or the association that we're trying to produce, to get up and going. But it's gonna take everybody to do this, not just a small group of us, but all of us that wants this thing, and wants the association to be what it's supposed to be. It takes all of us, not just two of us, not just 4 or 5 of us, So we want this to be just right for all of us performers here in Cayman.
On that note, we're going to pause here and take a little break, but we'll be right back.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways. Offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
On another place, but do on another story. From Pedro St. James and Fort George to John McLean Drive and Mission House, every corner of Cayman has a story to tell. Visit legendsbehindherlandmarks.ky, explore the interactive map, and discover the people, places, and moments that shape our islands. Learn something new. Visit somewhere new. Find out where we from. Start your journey today at legendsbehindherlandmarks.ky. Brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports Culture and Heritage.
Hey, Cayman, this is DJ Lynn. Catch me live weekdays from 7 till 10 a.m. on the Morning Breeze, our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM. We're waking you up with the best adult contemporary hits with the 70s, 80s, 90s, and much more. So start your morning the Cayman way with me, DJ Lynn, on the Morning Breeze.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and in the studio with me this afternoon is two musicians, Highlight and Tony Ebanks. They're talking to me about a new music and entertainment association that they and others are out to form in Cayman to represent Cayman musicians and entertainers. What kind of feedback have you gotten from the working musicians and entertainers in Cayman as far as this movement?
Well, it's just about everyone is on board. All the music fraternity that I've encountered, everybody wants something fresh and promising, and that has substance to start with, and part of that is coming from such a turbulent organization that didn't really seem, to be honest, I hate to have to put it this way, but really and truly, it seemed like over the years, the CMEA was actually the perception of what can the organization do for me rather than I can do for that type of thing. And it has been seen in such a bad light that, like I'm saying, it's just like one of the people who I look up to a lot, that we were talking in regards to where we're at and where we should be and where we hopefully need to get. We're saying that the word CMEA, it really has such a bad smell, taste, and the image is really, deplorable to the point where, it's not conducive to anything positive anymore. So thence we have seen the need to enact on a new journey, you know, and this is what we're here to actually see how we can forward this thing to the point where it just includes the nucleus of the members that everybody will see benefits in his projections.
So you're going to be forming a NPO for this organization?
Yes, the name is CIPMA, which stands for Cayman Islands Performers and Music Association. And just want to make it known publicly clear also that we have no intentions be running for no presidency. No, that's not the idea of it. That will be chosen from the floor once we have elections, which is sometime, hopefully, in the near future. Those nominees will be done from the floor. There's going to be a clear, transparent organization from the word go. If I have anything to do with it, under my watch, this going to be upright, straight, and something that we can all get justice from.
So at what stage are you at now as far as getting this off the ground?
Well, as I said earlier in my introduction, Chalo, we've been thrashing this out from, I say, between 5.5, 6 months, getting into that area there. And we've come up, such as with the name of the organization and, you know, where our goal should be and how we probably will get there. And it seems like it's something that it's long overdue. You know, like I said, we've been in the doldrums now for the last... they don't have enough hours in it. It doesn't have enough hours, and the time doesn't, really consent for that to tell you the reasons and some of the incidents and the issues that we find ourselves in. And it would not be appropriate to speak it out aloud in any case. As I said, CMEA is under police financial crime investigation. There's a probe going on as we speak. So that was all the more reason why we thought we don't want to be drawn into that. You know, that could actually prolong for years, you know, how that case can be. So we decided we need something here and now, actually like yesterday. So, like, you know, the whole objectives is that we're terribly misrepresented. Like I said, I could give cases and points of incidents that have occurred to prove what I'm saying out loud, but time does not consent for that.
So,
but
I mean,
that could be, some of those things could be actually enlightened on during election when we chose a steering committee, when we chose the executive. Those things can be highlighted.
So, I mean, how far away are you from actually, you know, filing this as an NPO? Are you already done that? Or?
Yeah, well, we have such as like the Constitution, which, you know, that's a necessity. We have that which will be added to it. There's nothing ever formed throughout history that came together of any substance or anything substantial just like that. It always starts fragmented and you gain, but we have the core of what it takes for the Constitution. So we're actually building a Constitution, and we should have that in place within the next few weeks. After that, then we go into the floor, election time.
But you've got to be recognized by the government as an NPO, right?
Once we get, we've gotten good feedback, but once we get all that in place, right, all the delegates is in place, then that's the next move for us, you know.
So
we've got encouragement in higher places.
What would you say is the state of working musicians in Cayman today. I mean, I know many years ago there was really a flourishing local music scene. You had, several bands that any Friday, Saturday night you could go someplace and catch a live band. I don't think it's that way now.
Oh, how the time has changed. Yeah, you're right. What has happened now, everything has become so consolidated, and it's because, again, of MONEY, money. And this is just not just the performers' faults per se, but is what properties are willing to pay. But again, the product, music has never been, Jalo, about just pure money. Some of the greatest artists that we have ever had in this world has actually been just strugglers, just keeping the music alive, just honing the craft. It wasn't all about just what they could get. It wasn't money was the mean instead of keeping them going. There was, a real musician dies a musician.
Mm-hmm.
That is the definition of a musician. Everybody else is a hobbyist who is not that. No matter how much you think they are musicians, they play an instrument, but there's a difference, like a difference between a musician and an entertainer.
So while you may not be playing live, you're still recording.
I'm playing live too.
You playing live?
Yeah. But like I said, it's fragmented. Or the scene has been watered down to a point, and there is more people today to actually, it's the pie is not as big as it used to be.
Yeah.
Because there's more mouths to feed, and a lot of them, I must say, someone can come here this morning, Chalo, and come on a plane this morning, but this evening they're in some property performing. And this is not only that. This is Cayman, the development. This is one of our woes as a developing country, right? And you want to get it all right, these things, but it takes collective efforts from various groups. You just can't depend on government for everything. No government in the world fixes all of the social ills and woes that we have. We have to be responsible as individuals and address. I see myself as having a civil duty to protect this turf, this place we call Cayman, as much as we can do in a civil stance.
Okay, well, you brought along 2 songs with you, and we have them queued up here. One of them, what is it, Cost of Living?
Yeah, it's something I just decided to put together. It's nothing to...
Well, let's get a little sample
just
of
to
that.
state of affairs.
Play us out to the break there.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman. From the Bluff to the shores of Grand Cayman, you have been the trusted source of news and great music. This is Ventisha Conley, the events manager for the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and I'm talking to Highlight and Roy and Tony Ebanks about a new entertainment association that is forming. And when we went to the break there, we heard some new music from Highlight. Cost of living, and everybody knows how hard that is. But I liked it. I liked that tune, Cost of Living, and that's a sort of new style for you. It's it sounded like a kind of Cayman kind of sound. A lot of different influences there.
Yeah.
Fusion.
Yeah, but that has always been my type of kind of aspirations, is try to find, like I said, it's almost, to find the new is to discover the old. But yeah, that's how I see that. If I was to do an album, or it would evolve somewhere around those same type of thing, that it's a little bit, it's fusionated.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the kind of background that we grew up with.
Yeah.
We were influenced by so much various type of genres of music over the years.
Music, radio stations out of the States, music.
Yeah.
Coming from Jamaica.
You came from that era, where it was a kind of condensation of so much different type of strains of music, and that Seaman brought home, and from the origins go so far back, that it's not that easy to come up with a unique sound, because we playing all the same instruments, all the things like, music is made out of what? Rhythm, melody, and harmony.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, you have to include those three elements, but it's how you put them together that describes whatever kind of music that it is. So, it's interesting to explore.
Yeah. Widen the horizons.
Oh, but definitely, as long as I'm living, I want to do originals. I mean, that's has always my long-term goal, is to get. This is what I'm saying. What we want to also do in this music association, Chalo, is to have like seminars and clinics that people come in from the A&R, artist representatives, someone from because the music industry has been, the whole business of music has been changing so much over the years, and it's got now so digitized that, to market it is like, it's hard to keep up with it. There's so much ways now to sell music that a lot of us older musicians don't know about, and the younger ones need more help in it. So we want to make a consolidated effort to have people come here and kind of part the knowledge as, to get us more up to scratch in the modern times, things like that. It will be very, injustice if we don't really get that type of thing here, because so much other islands that it, is not even is better off financial as us has those things. That's why I started by saying we want to have things like an kind of an industry where we have people that becomes more stakeholders and more household names and things like that. In we're not in comparison of Barbados, because they have such a earlier start, than us established, in us. But they have practically an industry rather than a music scene per se, and that's what's happening in the Caribbean. But it takes that kind of effort that it becomes industrialized, that, music is such a big part of revenue to countries, and musicians in generally are some of the greatest ambassadors to any country, musicians and athletes. Just take Jamaica, Bob Marley. You speak of Bob Marley, everybody seems to know Jamaica, So he did a lot to do with, publicizing, Jamaican products as well. I'm just saying that, musicians can play a real major role in exposing a country's cultural, inhibited also, We just need that concentration effort, and we won't wake up one morning and get everything that we need in place. It takes patience and trust in the whole effort. And remember that it'll never be a one-man show again as long as I have anything to do with it.
Tony, you've been, as you said, part of the driving force to get this going. What would you say are, the one thing or the major things that you want to see this result in? What do you want this to come out and achieve?
Well, there's a lot of younger people in Cayman, as we would call them, or youths, who record their own music and has different talents about them. There's nothing really going on for them. So that's one of the things that I would like to see come out of this whole association, where we're focusing also on the youths, have them explore their talents, and where we can put them on a showcase when we get it established, where we have a studio of our own, where youths can come and remix their own recordings, and how international producers where it can work with them, promote them, and just be on top. Just Cayman, just be on top of the music world, where we got producers coming down there. Hey, there's lots of talent in Cayman. Let's go check these guys out and see where we can go with them. So over the years, I've always thought about this kind of thing, having the youths have their say in this whole thing also. That is the one big thing for me with this whole association that we're trying to form and trying to get up and going.
Yeah, that's one of the major objectives that we have, is for the youths to be a major inclusion. When we speak about the music industry, it's very broad in the sense that a lot of songs that people have heard, over the years from a particular artist that they like, could have been their favorite artist. It wasn't necessarily that those artists was the songwriters. It has been, actually penned by someone else. You have something that's called pitching songs. It's like you could write a song for someone that you like, the artist. You're the songwriter. You'll get the credits for it, but you're more in the background, So the artist actually sing songs and make them sound like his own, but you're coming many songs that you've heard, that is how it originated. So we want also tap into that by having something like like a songwriters, core where we can also have that if we can help, pitch songs for the artists or, to create something within, because you have a lot of people that they may be decent singers, good musicians, whatever, but they don't have a songwriting talent because not everyone can really write a song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So actually things like this we want to try to include. It's a niche market where you have to try to include and cover, because it's broad. It's a broad spectrum. When you say music industry, it covers a wide, not just going out and playing and that's the end of the show. No, there is so much thing that makes up and follows up, that, and actually how people to come here in clinics and seminars that can even show you how to become a good producer and some of the, learn the ropes. Like this is what we've been lacking over the years.
So you want to provide education.
Definitely.
That's in one
in entertainment.
Yes, in a nutshell.
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And it's a one thing to, Mitch talking about songwriters.
Just a little closer to the mic, Tom.
One thing Mitch was just saying about being a songwriter, the beautiful thing is about it with these youths, and I know some of them personally, right? They all write their own songs. They all record their own songs.
Originality.
They don't have a professional studio where they can go and remix their stuff and all that sort of thing. But the beauty is about it, they write their own songs.
They're creative.
They're very, very creative.
And then you got good songwriters that are not really interested in getting on stage.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
That's everything.
You know what I'm saying? They write their own song. They're interested in getting on stage, performing their own. I mean, like, what a beauty it would be to have our Cayman youths on stage performing their originality. You know what I mean? Of their own music and all that sort of stuff.
But that's part when I mentioned earlier about having an entertainment calendar. You have it actually that you can designate certain times, events for those things, and you can even take it to various different districts rather than just having it, say centralized. You could have it, maybe you could go to East End, Bordentown, Northside, whatever, with certain shows. Take a show on the road. Show that you are alive and well. This is what we're trying to do. We want to have a vibrant and a really type of, inspiring organization that people can actually know that it's alive and well.
All right, we're just about out of time here, but you expect to get this going before this year is out, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Yeah. Right. It's not way over yonder, Jalo. It's very
around the corner.
Within touching distance.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing what develops, and good luck with this new project.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
It was a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you, Chalo.
Right now it is 1 o'clock, and that means it's news time.
Yesterday,
Today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. Government is marking International Youth Day and celebrating young people's ideas, creativity, and ambition. In a social post today, CIG said youth are using technology to share their views, build partnerships, and make their voices heard. This afternoon, the Youth Services Unit hosts children, teens, and families at the Intergenerational Hub. The free event started at 12:30 p.m. and will go until 3:30 this afternoon with a focus on technology and partnerships. Children, teens, and families are invited for games, connection, and discovery, including a free game truck and interactive activities with community partners. In international news, U.S. inflation fell to 3.4% in July as petrol prices declined. The Financial Times reports the annual rate was down from 3.5% in June and 4.2% in May. Core inflation, excluding food and energy, fell to 2.5%. Traders reduced expectations of a Federal Reserve rate increase after the report. However, Federal Reserve Bank of Boston President Susan Collins says she could back an interest rate increase as soon as September if economic conditions require tighter policy. In an interview today with the Financial Times, Collins said inflation has remained above the Federal Reserve's 2% goal for more than 5 years. She said lower and moderate income households are increasingly struggling to make ends meet, with energy prices particularly challenging in her region. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
HSA's Orthopedic Clinic has relocated to the second floor of the Smith Road Medical Center. Our dedicated team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons treat conditions ranging from spine to ankle injuries in adult and pediatric patients. We offer minimally invasive procedures from ligament reconstruction to hip and knee replacement. If you have experienced an injury due to sports or day-to-day activities, call 949-8600 and schedule an appointment with HSA's Orthopedic Clinic, now located at the Smith Road Medical Center.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Alfred Berman Scott, 1914 to 1989. Alfred Scott was schooled in Jamaica and went to sea as a young man, and then to Panama, where he worked on the canal. When he returned home to Cayman Brac, he worked as a contractor and manufacturer of concrete blocks made on a homemade machine, floor tiles and aggregate. He served in the Legislative Assembly in the early 1970s, representing Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, and was a Baptist preacher for a number of years. He was a philanthropist who was widely loved and respected. Mr. Scott, who was married to Miss Alta Aurelia Henderson, was a model husband and father who raised 12 outstanding citizens. Another son died at an early age.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
On another place, but do on another story? From Pedro St. James and Fort George to John McLean Drive and Mission House, every corner of Cayman has a story to tell. Visit legendsbehindherlandmarks.ky, explore the interactive map, and discover the people, places, and moments that shape our islands. Learn something new. Visit somewhere new. Find out where we from. Start your journey today at legendsbehindherlandmarks.ky. Brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and before we go to the phone lines, let's check in with the weather here, got an update. Current temperature here in Georgetown, 90 degrees. It feels like 110. The wind out of the east-northeast at almost 13 knots with a relative humidity of 75%. And taking a look at the forecast, synopsis says partly cloudy skies with a slight chance of showers over the next 24 hours. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with haze and a 30% chance of overnight showers with possible thunder. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s. Wind east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights running at 2 to 4 feet. And the tides for today, we have a low tide coming up at 12 minutes after 3 this afternoon, and the next high tide at 9:36 tonight. Sunset at 6:54, and the outlook is for Saharan dust haze to be embedded within the atmosphere through Thursday, creating a dry environment. An increased chance of showers is forecast from Thursday evening as a tropical wave drifts across the Cayman area. And the Atlantic is quite active. Things picked up. You know, we're getting into the middle of August here. And we got a tropical storm up there way out into the Atlantic heading east. That's a good direction to go. And it's clipping a lot, 22 knots. Movement to the east there, we won't have to worry about Tropical Storm Cristobal, but we need to keep an eye on disturbance number 1 down in the central tropical Atlantic. Disturbance number 1 has an 80% chance of cyclone formation within 7 days, and the environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for development during the next couple of days, and a tropical depression will likely form while the system moves westward to west-northwestward across the central tropic Atlantic. So we'll have to monitor that one. And then we have disturbance 2, a 40% chance of cyclone formation in 7 days. And again, environmental conditions are forecast to be generally conducive for some development of this system during the next several days, while it moves westward to northwestward across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. So things getting more interesting for the hurricane season, but let's hope those don't develop into anything major. We do have a couple of callers on the line, so let's see. Let's check in with the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello, are you there? Hello?
Hey, Chalo.
There you are.
Yeah.
Yes, my friend.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at this eclipse.
Oh, yeah, the big eclipse, was it in Europe they're seeing it, right?
Yeah, Iceland, Spain, and England. I'm wondering, Jallo, if there is a time that in the end, because sometimes I believe that we're in revelation time right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have those beliefs, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I see this, I wonder if that's how the first morning began. And it will end like this also. The sun, well, the moon will just cover the sun, and there will be no more sunlight. I believe that's how the first morning began as well. But there's one thing I know, Chalo, when I look at these happenings up there, it makes my belief much stronger that man don't really run things here. It's something more powerful than man. Something, someone, somewhere control the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And the people as well. That's my beliefs at times, you know? And I know for sure not Donald Trump.
Even though he said he's the chosen one.
So it's something shadow more powerful than mankind that really controls this universe and its people, you know? That's all my beliefs, man, I tell you. So, we just wait on time and see what happens, man.
So you think these are the end times?
Well, most of the time, Shallow, I believe, you know, I watch other nations and things that is happening by nature in other countries and things like that, and all that made me give up my living a life, you know, complacent life, like it can't happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Today I look on it different. I see these things happening in them places. I simply say to myself, you know, today, then, it can be me today as well. You understand? That's how I see life today. I never seen life like that when I was young.
You just took it one day at a time?
Just look at it, Shallow. Just a couple of hours in between them earthquakes, you know, in Venezuela and Colombia, you know. Just a couple of hours,
yeah.
My boy. You understand?
Yeah, we've had a few shakers around the region.
Yeah, anyway, Shallow, I'll talk to you later, my boy.
All right, you take care.
Yeah, man, cool.
We have another caller there? No, we lost that one? Okay. So, yeah, big eclipse being seen in Europe. I think the UK also. A total eclipse of the sun, which you don't get all the time. But I saw a lady yesterday talking about it, that she would be observing it, and it was not the first one that she'd seen. And she was saying that once you have seen a total eclipse of the sun, it's something that amazes you in such a way that it sort of changes your thinking about your role in the universe and so forth, and you can't wait to see another one. So I guess for some people it's almost a kind of spiritual thing. Not that they're worshiping the sun or any kind of thing like that, but to see darkness come in the middle of the day and seeing the celestial bodies lining up and the effect that it has, I guess it does, give you an idea of maybe how small we are, in this universe. But speaking of more earthly matters, things at hand, among the issues in our community, and I touched on this. What is this? I guess it was late last week, and I still see references to it, and I thought I'd bring it back here for another review, and that is the KPMG study of our Health Services Authority. This was commissioned back in January of this year, and they've taken a sort of snapshot of governance conditions at HSA I guess it was up to December of 2025 that they were actually examining, and quite a bit of information, and KPMG seems to have made quite an in-depth, assessment of the governance of HSA. They covered a lot of different important areas. They made 47 recommendations for improvement, and 47 recommendations sounds, an awful lot, but when you get into what those recommendations are actually about, the picture becomes, clearer. KPMG identified 11 key governance challenges, as they put it, covering 5 broad areas: strategic direction, the governance and operational structure, performance and accountability, communication and collaboration, and organizational culture. And indeed, some of the findings are pretty blunt. There were concerns about unclear decision-making responsibilities. Who is supposed to do what or decide on what? The questions about how effectively the board's committees were working, weaknesses in monitoring operational performance and risk, problems with performance management, concerns about communication and stakeholder engagement. And one thing that was, I guess you could put an argument that it was the most important. Like KPMG heard concerns about trust and openness within the organization, including concerns about disrespectful behavior among staff and towards patients. Which, kind of says, wow, disrespect toward patients. That last part is particularly interesting because governance can sometimes sounds like one of those very dry corporate words. Governance, someone sitting at the head of a big conference table. Definitely sounds like something that belongs in a boardroom with people sitting around, the big conference table looking at spreadsheets and comparing numbers. But really, when it comes right down to it, governance, it affects ordinary people. It's that, I guess, trickle-down effect. Because if you don't have clear lines of responsibility, if nobody knows exactly who's supposed to make that decision, if management isn't, properly held accountable, or if staff don't feel comfortable raising questions, eventually that filters down into the service that people experience there. So it isn't really about who sits on the HSA board. It's about whether the system allows or is conducive to the organization being managed in a way that allows it to deliver the kind of health care that we expect, effectively deliver health care. We do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Chalo.
Yes. How are you doing?
Yeah. Okay.
Are you seeing the eclipse
Yeah, I
too?
see the Yeah, man. Close. Look like you can touch it.
Wow. Make sure you got the right glasses on if you're looking at it.
Yeah, I don't have red glasses on, so
Be careful.
I'm not looking at it too much like that. But I started recording it, but
Mm-hmm.
then one old man tell me that it will destroy your phone, so I had to stop recording, man.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess if direct sunlight, going into your lens like that, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so a lot of people looking at it right now too, man. Practical air, what it can get outside right now is outside. Looking at it.
So is
So
it dark? I mean, well, you're ahead of us. Your
no
time.
no, the sun don't set. The sun don't set. It's 7:22 now.
Uh-huh.
The sun don't set till about around 9 o'clock. Yeah, so
So is it? But it's darker than usual right now.
no, man, the sun's still out bright, man. It going down, but the sun is still out.
Okay. I thought with the eclipse it would appear more dark right now.
No, it hasn't covered the sun completely yet. You see.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. It hasn't completely. It like about halfway now.
So are you supposed to get a full eclipse in the UK?
I think so. From what I see.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I see, it's very close, man. So I think we're supposed to be able to see just about everything that I do. So not bad. The sky is making things start to look kind of the sunlight starting to look kind of grayish now.
Mm.
Yeah, got like a gray to it now. So
it must be
that's
quite
what's
an
happening up
experience.
there. Yeah, it's okay, man. It's okay. Yeah, just anyway, Chalo, I'll talk to you later. 'Cause I get ready to go to work,
All right. Well, you have a good night.
All right, man. Okay.
Take care. Thanks for the report. Yeah, that's our friend up there in the UK, taking in the eclipse. It certainly must be, an experience to be able to witness that. So, getting back here to talking about this KPMG assessment of our Health Services Authority. Another point that came out from this review, the review, it involved a fairly broad range of people. KPMG conducted 24 stakeholder interviews. I never know exactly what stakeholder means. It sounds like, like a catch-all word, right? But they had 24 stakeholder interviews, received responses from 483 patients. That's a pretty big sample. 483 patients and caregivers, and 203 HSA staff. They spoke with external partners and examined 46 governance documents. So this wasn't just, some people sitting in an office, looking at the HSA's organizational chart or something. There was a lot of feedback, substantial feedback from people who actually interact with the organization and how well things run as far as their encounters with HSA. And of course, this comes against a background of growing public concern about HSA governance. You might remember the controversy surrounding the board last year, the HSA board. There's a lot of questions about what board was being paid as far as remunerations and the number of meetings they were having, because they were getting a payment for each meeting, and kind of looked like they were kind of running up the meeting, the number of meetings, but that's just looking from the outside. there might have been good reasons to have those meetings, but that's how it appeared, and appearances mean a lot. So the government, subsequently commissioned the independent assessment by KPMG, but during the presser, the minister, the Honorable Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes, she was careful to make another distinction. She pointed out that the KPMG report reflects governance situation up to December 2025. So in effect, this is a snapshot of where things stood before the newly appointed HSA board came into place. We do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Charlie. How you doing?
All right, and you?
All right, man. It's Notch.
Yes.
Well, I wasn't really going to call in and add any fuel to fire, but I have a few things I need to refute that were just said on air by Mr. Mitchell Eubank in his attempt to create a new music association. First, I'd like to say I wish them all the luck. I don't think it's the best way to utilize our energies in Cayman. I think that we would be much better served if we were all cooperating under the same agenda. But nonetheless, I understand the frustration that has led to that decision. I want to start with something that he said that was not factual. As the current president of the CMEA, I'd like to state that the CMEA is actually functioning very well, considering the circumstances. I'd like to state that the CMEA as an organization is not under criminal investigation. That is not so. There is a police investigation underway, and that I'd like to outline the history of that.
A police investigation of the association?
No, it's not of the association, and that's what I'd like to outline for you here. Basically, the investigation is on individuals of the 2022 exec board.
Okay, but let's not go any more in detail than that.
I didn't want to go too much further, but I want to expound on it by saying that how it came about and where it's at the moment, because it's important. It's important to establish that, especially considering that recently in the press there have been situations with the DPP office that are very similar. What has happened was why it's taking so long to bring any resolution in this matter is because there was a file that was misplaced at the DPP office, or else this would have been resolved a long time ago.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to leave it there, though, because when we're talking about criminal investigations, we have to be careful where we get into, because we don't know what the result is going to be.
I wasn't prepared to go any further. I just wanted to establish that the CMEA is not under criminal investigation.
As an organization. Okay.
As an organization. The claim was made, and I wanted to make sure that...
Hello?
I didn't hear you. What did you say? I'm sorry. I thought...
No. I didn't say anything. I just thought we got cut off or something.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to put that out there to you, and basically I wanted to let you know that there is problems with the CMEA. Those problems have to do with the general registry at the moment, and there are issues that we're trying to resolve through diplomatic means. It seems as though we keep getting a stonewalling by individuals in the Ministry of Culture, which is something that we're trying to address as well through diplomatic means, which you can understand would lead to frustration among the members, and because of that, it has led to certain members wanting to go off and start afresh. But we don't want people out there soiling or tarnishing the name of the CMEA, which has been established for over 40 years in Cayman and has served the Cayman community well during its course. So hopefully all this will be worked out very soon. There were some points that were sent to you on WhatsApp, I think, and if you would care to, you can go over those at your leisure and when you feel like.
You said you sent it on the station to our WhatsApp number for the show?
I sent it to your personal WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
To the station. But pretty much that's where it's at, you know.
Well, let me take a break here. Just hang on and let me come back because I want to ask you something.
That's no problem.
So just hold on. Let's take the break and then come back.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Housing in the Cayman Islands affects families, renters, first-time buyers, seniors, and vulnerable residents. The Cayman Islands Public and Affordable Housing Policy and 10-year strategic plan provide a coordinated framework to improve housing access, increase supply, and guide phased implementation over time. Public presentations are being developed and will provide opportunities for the community to learn more about the policy and plan. Learn more and get the facts at gov.ky/housing plan. A message from the Ministry of Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing, and Infrastructure.
It's that time again, Cayman! The Pursuit of Excellence Foundation invites you to our 8th annual Ready, Set, Learn Back to School event, helping our students start the school year prepared, confident, and ready to achieve. Join us in Grand Cayman on Saturday, August 22nd from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Lion Center, and in Cayman Brac on Sunday, August 23rd from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Ashton Rutty Center. Come out for an afternoon of free school supplies, backpacks, refreshments, fun activities, giveaways, and so much more for students and families. For 8 years, Ready, Set, Learn has been bringing our community together to support Cayman's young people. And this year, we're doing it again.
So parents, bring the kids, spread the word, and come get ready, set, learn.
August 22nd in Grand Cayman and August 23rd in Cayman Brac from 2 to 5 p.m.
Presented by Pursuit of Excellence, the Lloyd Barker Foundation.
Empowering our youth, supporting our families, pursuing excellence together.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And on the line we have Notch John Smith. Are you there?
Yeah, Jean-Eric is there.
All right. So you said that you are now president?
Yeah, since 2024.
Okay.
We were supposed to have an AGM since, but we haven't had an AGM because we've not been able to get the general registry to transfer the controllership of the association. And without the transfer of controllership, it makes no sense to have an AGM, because obviously the new exec would be in the same position of this 2024 exec, which would be basically to be rendered powerless. They wouldn't have any access to the bank account or anything else. Pretty much I can give you a quick synopsis on this in a few points.
Okay. I just want to, because I think when did we last speak on that you called on the phone and you were talking about the same situation?
I think that's been sometime last year.
Right. So, you were president then?
Yes, I was president.
Okay, because I was under the impression that someone else was, or you had just taken over, or because someone else has been running as president, was president of the association, right?
Someone else was president of the association for the year 2022 to 2023. Yes.
Okay, because
3 years ago. And I became president in 2024, and I'd like to actually pass on this mantra, but we can't until there's some accountability of what happened to the CMEA's accounts, which there is no transparency of by the 2022 board, and that's what the investigation is leading up to with the RCIPS. So the CMEA itself is not under investigation. No, we have actually prompted this investigation because we want a resolve to this. We have, the board currently as is has reputable members. There's university professors from UCCI. There's accountants. There's architects in professional services in the Cayman Islands. There's entrepreneurs. There's a lot of, and all these people moonlight as musicians from time to time as well. So they have a vested interest in the association.
Mm-hmm.
And they're only trying to get it back to where it used to be, that the music association actually has some say and some interjection into the direction of the local music and entertainment industry, which is the way it always was in Cayman. 40 years prior, up until today, the Music and Entertainment Association has always had some say in the way that foreign musicians are allowed to come on island and interact. And that's one of the things you asked on the show today, was obviously like realizing that there's no more live bands anymore on the strip anymore. All these things have been taken away because the Music Association has basically been hamstrung, so to speak. And we're just trying to get it back to where it's standing on its own 2 feet and it's being recognized and respected by the political leaders and the people of the private sector, because we've been given that type of authority to be able to do so.
Okay, now let's. Spencer Marion is part of your board, right? Is that correct?
Absolutely. Spencer Marion is actually the vice president.
He's vice president because he sent a text in here too, disputing, some of what was said there, and he is corroborating what you're saying, that there is no investigation of the association.
No.
That it is individuals.
And interestingly enough, Spencer's in Nicaragua currently, and I'm in the UK. And we didn't speak. We just knew that this was going to happen today. So we're listening to your show internationally, and I guess we thought the same way. I didn't realize that he had sent something as well. But yeah.
Yeah, because he's saying here also, correction, the CMEA is, as an organization, is not under criminal investigation. The NPO submitted a complaint to the DPP concerning fraud with regards to one of its members. The points above refer to the board elected March 2024, which I
guess that's kind of shorthand to what the situation really is.
Yeah, well, let me go over what he communicated here. He's saying this is in a nutshell what the issue is. Let me Oh boy. Okay. I think we need a new phone. He says here's a brief synopsis of points. I guess that should miss. Now, who's Steve Reed? He was elected president in 2022?
2022, 23, yes.
Okay. And then in December 2023, 38 members of the CMEA called an extraordinary general meeting and voted to remove the current board because there had been absolutely no communication to the members from the day of the 2022 elections. A new board was elected as per the Constitution in March 2024. From January of 2024, there was correspondence with Mr. Paul Ennis of the NPO and the General Registry with regards to the process of transferring the controller of the CMEA board. After dozens of correspondence with the General Registry, we finally got a meeting with Mr. Ennis and his staff in January 2026. 2 years later, this was his first response in 2 years. Number 6. Also please to the Ministry of Culture, which the CMEA fell on deaf ears. After the meeting in January with the NPO, we were advised that we hadn't followed the proper process of which we could have been advised of from January 2024. If Mr. Ennis had just answered our emails, we then submitted all of the required documentation, and we still have not heard back from Mr. Ennis. No one in the General Registry from the top down is taking responsibility for anything. The previous Minister of Culture and the current minister have basically turned a blind eye to everything, as well as the Chief Officer of Culture. So we decided to establish a completely new organization. You follow on with that? You agree with what those points are?
Yes, and I'd like to expand on something if I can.
Okay.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to. I won't call any names. That was not the way that I would. Anyway, pretty much, Charles, what's taking place in the Music Association it's a tragedy of justice. And it's led to where we have this fraction now where we have people who are actually trying to break off to form their own association because they're not getting proper representation from the CMEA. Even though we are a proper functioning board, we do not have the power to do the things that our membership, our Caymanian membership, is requesting of us. That's things like protection of those artists, making sure that the jobs that are available on island, the jobs that our tourism industry and private sector and everything else creates on those job opportunities should be given to Caymanians first, like any other sector of human resource, right? That's not happening currently. So I just want to say really quick, and this is self-explanatory. CME has had an election every year. For 40 years, we have had an EGM, even before we had an NPO law in 2018, which was basically a law that was created to keep NPOs out of money laundering. But the CME maintained a proper non-profit organization by having an election every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did the same in 2022, and a new president was elected in March of 2022, right? In December of 2023, after not hearing from that new board that was elected in 2022, the whole of 2022 and all of 2023, they did not contact the members at all. There was no communication, no email communication, no with minutes of official meetings. There was nothing.
Yeah,
right?
that is what Spencer wrote here.
Right. They basically, you ghosted the membership. So the membership, following their constitution, they had an extraordinary meeting, as they are allowed to have, right? 32 members that were present. Spencer said it was 38. That must have been people. He kept the books, so he would have known that was probably people who also sent in proxies or whatever. But as far as I remember, there was 32 members that were present. But that was still enough for a quorum of the membership. And they voted to remove that 2022 board because they weren't getting any response from them at all, right? They notified the 2022 board that they wanted them to step down immediately, and instead of them stepping down, they sent back letters threatening litigation against the members for asking for their right. And all the members were asking for was, tell us what's going on with our association, because they were left with a substantial amount of funds to operate with, to the extent of, I think it would have been about close to $60,000 in the kitty that's unaccounted for, right? So the members want to know. Plus, the CME had acquired shares in CNB in the early days of the inception of the association. So all the members wanted to know, what about their shares as a group in CNB? Anyway.
Just stick a pin right there because I need to take a break. Okay?
Yeah. All right.
Be right back.
Think vaping is just a cloud? Think again. Vaping is affecting young people across the Cayman Islands, and now you have a chance to be part of the conversation. The Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability is asking young people to share their views on proposed changes to tobacco and vaping laws. Learn about the proposals and make your voice heard, because the choices we make today help shape the Cayman Islands we live in tomorrow. Log on to publicconsultation.gov.ky. The consultation opens on the 21st of August.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Hi, this is Gary King from Totally 80s. My special guest this week is Simon LeBon from Duran Duran. Simon shares some of the tour secrets of the band. I also bring you the latest news on the biggest stars of the decade.
Heard on Saturdays from 2 until 4 p.m. on Breeze 105.3 and 91.9.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're still talking about the Cayman Music and Entertainment Association issue. And on the line, we have Notch John Smith. And Notch, before you broke away, you were talking about some monies that were unaccounted for and all that. We won't go too deep into that because God knows where that's going to lead. But
no. Chalo, I have to say, that I'm astute enough to know that certain things shouldn't be discussed in depth, and I won't. But I can allude to it because it's factual.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to mislead the public in any way. I'm just trying to enlighten, and the musicians need to hear this because for a lot of them, they think that nothing is happening because we have not disclosed a lot of this to the membership. But we can't. But now that but we're in a public forum, we definitely can. But we're not, because anyway. Let me just continue, and I'll clarify some of the points that Mr. Merring made that were your very salient points. So there was a meeting held in November of 2023, and there was a select committee that was selected, and they organized an AGM for 2024. And the general registry was notified of everything that the select committee did starting in January of 2024. The CMA members came out and they had an election, their regular AGM in March of 2024, and they elected a new board. And that board is Mr. Spencer Marin as the vice president. It has Mr. Will Stewart from Chalmers Gibbs. He is the secretary. Mr. J.R. Douglas of Northside is the treasurer. He was a former bailiff of the court and a musician down at Peppers. Mr. Michael LeMay is also a assistant secretary, and I'm the president of the 2024 exec. And we have exhausted ourselves for 2 years trying to get the general registry to transfer the controllership of the association from the 2022 exec to the 2024 exec. And that has not happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that the members are upset about. Anyway, the new board was elected as per the Constitution in March of 2024. And from January, there were repeated and constant and consistent correspondence with the head of the NPO in the General Registry Compliance Unit, right, with regards to the failures of the 2022 CMA board. That subsequent process should have resulted in the legal transference of the controllership, but nothing happened, right? After over a dozen lengthy correspondence sent to the General Registry, we finally got a meeting with Mr. Innes, who's the head of the EGR compliance, and his staff in January of 2026. That's just several months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 years after we had been contacting them. And he told us to our face, it was the most insulting thing that I think I'd have to swallow, was that he told us that the reason why he had not responded to 2 years of correspondence outlining our complaints was because we choose to not use the proper complaint form. In other words, the General Registry has a set complaint form that you should use. And because we did not use the form, they did not acknowledge or respond to any of our complaints, which were valid. Compounding this matter was that at the election of 2022, when that board was elected, there were irregularities that were highlighted to the General Registry concerning the procedures at the AGM. And the General Registry had took it upon themselves to forward the complaint to the RCIPS. Now, why would they forward a complaint to the RCIPS if they thought that there was nothing there? So they forwarded to the RCIPS. The RCIPS thought there had to be something there, and they forwarded to the DPP, only for the file to go missing. Later on, the RCIPS reopened a fresh file. All of a sudden, the old file reappeared. And now that is the investigation that is continuing, an investigation that started in 2022.
Which is not an investigation of the association.
The association. No, it's us members.
Something something that I'm a little confused on here, because you say you are CMEA, but what is this point that when Spencer wrote this? So it says number 11. So we decided to establish a completely new organization.
Right. So Spencer, to my understanding, Spencer wrote those points for Roy, who was going on air with you today, because Roy notified him that he was going to be doing that. And Spencer was trying to outline to him what led to this frustration. And it seems that Roy completely ignored everything that Spencer wrote and came on and said what he had to say, which is why I am calling now as the president. I only gathered all of this from Spencer after the fact, because he sent me a message saying he had outlined 9 points for Roy, and I was like, excuse me, I was like, why would you outline points for Roy? He said, well, he's going to go on air and they're forming a new association. I said, well, wish him well then. If he thinks that starting a new association is going to achieve more than building on the 40-year foundation that we have established, then, as they would say in the UK, lash at it, right? So that was I didn't realize that Spencer said that comment. Spencer is definitely not in Roy's group. He was trying to help Roy articulate his thoughts, I guess. I can't speak to Spencer, but that's my take on that, right? I haven't seen what he said which was, I just heard that he said you something, and then he told me it said Roy something, so I figured it's the same document. I wouldn't figure he did two separate documents. But my point in saying all of this is every year, the General Registry, under the NPO law, requires annual returns to be filed. How can the CMEA from 2022 file annual returns without, and if you don't file your annual returns, you can't maintain your controllership of the NPO. So why is the General Registry allowing the principals from 2022 to remain the controllers when annual returns have not been filed for 2023? They definitely haven't been filed for 2024 because we are the exec and we don't have control of our bank accounts. We have asked the 2022 exec time and time again, please, and it is a matter of transparency. It's for all the members. Every year that I was president previously, at the AGM, we would present annual financials for all of the members to see. And at the AGM, the treasurer would discuss the financials line by line so that the members had an opportunity to query anything or to interject. And that is an open and transparent NPO. And that's all we want the CMEA to be again. That's all we're trying to achieve. And we're asking the Ministry of Culture, we're asking the General Registry, whatever the cloaking and dagger is, whatever the smoke and mirrors is, we really don't care. Just let us see what our financials are. Let us know why it is that you are keeping this exec, this legally elected exec, from transferring onto the controllership so that we can then transfer it over to someone else. You know, it isn't a dictatorship, or it isn't it isn't communism where once you're elected for life. If you're elected and you're reelected on an annual basis.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go to the news though.
I understand. Well, thank you for your time, Charles.
Okay, and we want to reiterate again that CMEA is not under any kind of criminal investigation. Investigation is strictly individuals.
strictly individuals, and we're doing our best to bring all of that to a head as soon as we can so that we can continue the business of standing up and articulating to the powers that be that, look, for instance, foreign musicians aren't supposed to come in our country and perform without getting an endorsement from the association. You can't have people moonlighting who have a job, a work permit for a certain job, getting an addendum to then go and be DJs or going to be musicians and depriving Caymanians of an opportunity to make a livelihood in their own country. And that's what's happening in Cayman.
All right, I got to go.
Not a problem. Thank
All
you
right,
for your
thanks
time.
for clearing it up. You're giving us your side.
Thank you.
Let's see what's making headlines.
We are Radio Cayman.
Covering Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. A multi-agency public protection arrangements memorandum of understanding has been signed today to strengthen management of people who may pose a risk to the community. Acting Department of Public Safety Communications Director Sean Vasquez said the agreement brings together law enforcement, corrections, public safety, social services, immigration, and other government partners. Vasquez said the agencies will share relevant information, coordinate interventions, and make informed decisions together. He said the arrangement aligns with his department's responsibility for electronic monitoring of offenders. The Electronic Monitoring Center provides alerts, monitoring information, coordinated communication, and escalation for agencies supervising offenders. Vasquez says success will depend on how the agreement is put into practice. In international news, Bob Iger and Josh Kushner are buying the Lakers basketball franchise for $12.5 billion, according to the Financial Times. The pager reports that the deal would be the highest price paid for a sports team. It says the buyers will acquire the team from Guggenheim Partners co-founder Mark Walter, subject to NBA approval. In other news, Switzerland has proposed stronger powers for its financial regulator following the 2023 collapse of Credit Suisse. The Financial Times reports the plans would allow FINMA to fine financial institutions and intervene at troubled banks. The government also proposes deferred or clawed back bonuses at systemically important banks following misconduct. The consultation runs until November 19th. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Well, quite a tangled web there with what is going on with your music association and getting the clarity there of just what is the situation with that organization. I know it spoke to Notch, as we mentioned there. I think it was sometime late last year, and he had told me then about the situation with the NPO registry, etc. But it seems like a lot of work is there to be done to get the CMEA back on an even keel and doing what it's intended to do. And once again, we want to make clear that from what Spencer Marin wrote to me, messaging me, and also what John Smith was saying on the air here, that there's no actual criminal investigation of the organization. There is an investigation of certain individuals or individual, but not the organization. That is something we want to make absolutely clear. That's what we take it to be now, coming from two members of the executive of CMEA. Let's take a look at the weather here. Got a weather update. 90 degrees here in Georgetown. Feels like 109. And let's check on the winds here. Winds coming out of the east-northeast at about 13.5 knots. Relative humidity 75%. And the forecast, the synopsis, partly cloudy skies with a slight chance of showers over the next 24 hours. Tonight we can expect partly cloudy skies with haze and a 30% chance of overnight showers with possible thunder. Temperatures will fall near the low to mid-80s. Winds out of the east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Low tide coming up in about an hour from now at 3:12. Next high tide at 9:36 tonight. Sunset at 6:54, and the outlook is for Saharan dust haze to be embedded within the atmosphere through Thursday, creating a dry environment. An increased chance of showers is forecast from Thursday evening as a tropical wave drifts over the Cayman area. And things have picked up as far as hurricane or tropical storm activity. We got Cristobal up in the North Atlantic as a tropical storm. Heading east at a good little clip there too, 22 knots an hour. That's 25 miles an hour. So that's out there, cruise in the Atlantic. But of more concern is Disturbance 1. It needs to be monitored. 80% chance of cyclone formation in 7 days. And it's moving westward to west-northwestward across the central tropical Atlantic, and a tropical depression will likely form while it is moving westerly. And there is also disturbance number 2. Got 2 of them out there. That has a 40% chance of cyclone formation in 7 days. Also moving westward or west-northwestward, and they're expecting some development of this system during the next several days, and we'll just have to keep a track and an eye to see how things go as far as how much development will occur, and they just might take a more northerly turn, and we'll keep you up to date here on Radio Cayman as far as what's happening with the weather. We're always on the ball when it comes to keeping you informed about these kind of things, right? Yes, we've got about 20 minutes or so left in the show. If you want to pick up the phone, give me a call. We can chat about something, whatever's on your mind. Numbers to call, of course, is 1-800-534-8255. That's courtesy of Flo. You can also reach the studio on 949-8037, 949-6990. Or you can WhatsApp us, 925-3261. We got to take a break, Paul? Yep, we got to take a break. Be right back.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
The government is inviting the public to share their views on proposed changes to tobacco and vaping laws. The proposal aims to protect our young people, strengthen vaping rules, and address concerns about disposable vapes. We want to hear from parents, educators, businesses, and the wider community. The consultation opens on the 21st of August. Log on to publicconsultation.gov.ky to help shape the future of tobacco and vaping policy in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. We do have a caller on the line. Let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Glidden, and happy Wednesday.
Same to you. How you doing?
It was just you. I'm doing okay, just trying to stay out of the heat. Oh my gosh, it's hot.
It's a hot one.
It's supposed to be like 109 today.
Yeah, 90 and
Feel
feels like what was it? 100 and 100 and yeah. It's now saying feels like 109. That's hot.
That is extremely hot. I just caught the probably like maybe about 10 minutes of your last caller's conversation there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it was. I kind of picked up what it was about. Let me say that. What I wanted to say, though, I don't know who connected to the organization is getting investigated and for what. However, I want to say that there are two people that I know that are connected to the organization who have, how should I say this? I have received complaints from non-Caymanians who are, work permit holders or potential aspiring work permit holders that monies were taken from them in order to, under false pretenses, let's say that, saying we were going to put in a work permit and no work permit was put in and no fees were collected to put in these work permits and no fees were returned back when work permits were rejected. And I have reached out to, maybe if they hear this call, they'll know who they are, because I have reached out to the two persons on behalf of the two individuals. Well, actually, it's not two individuals, but I'm just referring to individuals that I know are tied to this organization here. And so
I'm getting a little nervous about how deep we're getting into that.
Okay?
Because we're walking on the edge here.
No, I'm not calling any names or anything like
okay.
that. I'm not trying to identify anyone. I'm not stupid.
And again, it's the individuals, not the association.
No, not
the association doesn't have anything to do with it.
No, absolutely nothing at all, sir. Nothing at all.
All right.
This is a personal thing that involves two people that are connected to the association, but not the association, like you guys emphasize, I'm emphasizing too, not the association itself, in their own personal capacity, acting in their own personal capacity for their own personal circumstances, right? So I just remembered it when I heard the discussion coming up, and just thinking to myself, it's a good opportunity to put this out there, and if certain particular people are listening to the call, they will know who they are and be aware that I have made contact with them and asked them to do the right thing by these people who come to our country to try to work and make a better life, right? They're already here. We know what's going on with immigration, but they've already been here. And so, again, a public call to do the right thing and not take people's money, especially if you're a Caymanian and you're a prominent Caymanian and you have businesses and that sort of thing, and people have come to me and asked me to assist, and I've reached out to you and that sort of thing, and just do the right thing by these people and not take their monies and say you're going to put in a work permit, and then you don't put it in, you don't give them back their money because they've paid for the work permit, or if the work permit is rejected, you still don't give them back their money, and then you give them the runaround. I have the receipts, as they say in America. I have the screenshots and that sort of thing. But we need to do the right thing by these people when we dealing with immigration and all that sorts of thing, because it's not right and it's not fair. And like I said, it just came to my mind to mention it at this time, to publicly say it, and it falls across the board, not just particularly pointing to two individuals who has nothing to do with that organization at all. The other quick question I wanted to ask you, were you going to say something a few seconds ago?
No, you can continue. I mean, I may have been, but I can't bring it to mind right now.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to say to you, this morning on your cousin's talk show.
My cousin?
There was Mr. Connor. Just I'm being funny.
Yeah.
The one of the MPs on there was talking about him bringing a motion to the Parliament the last time about the Residential Tenancies Act, and he does not agree that the government wants to replace a commissioner with a commission. And I just kind of wanted to open a dialogue with that and see what your feedback was, or your point of view, because I've looked it up, I've read it, and my point of view is I really don't think a commission, there's anything wrong with the commission. I think that may be a more fairer avenue to explore. I know there was some time ago I heard that they were considering maybe using the Ombudsman office. But, the Ombudsman office is really up to their ears in work, I heard. But I just wanted to hear what your feedback was on that, because I don't really see anything wrong with the commission.
Well, I take Roy Tatum and the MP Roy Tatum's point about when you have a commission made up of individuals, sometimes it's harder for the individual to make contact with the commission. You got to file things and go. They meet every so often, and things move much slower than if it's one singular person in charge of looking into something that you can pick up the phone and probably just talk to that person directly, and they tell you what needs to be done in order to proceed.
To me, go ahead.
But at the same, it's an interesting, because, like you say, if you have more than one person, then you have input from, say, 3 people. Okay, and they can act not just as an individual, but as that authority to resolve it in a way that they feel that is most proper.
Right.
And it's not just one singular person saying, well, this is the way it should go. It's, 6 of one, half dozen the other, I guess.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for you to finish, but I feel personally, for me, we have quite a few commissions already established in different areas. And I feel, when you have a commission, now listen, landlord and tenant issues are going to be heavy. You know, we even though a commissioner will have support staff, you know, that commissioner would directly be the one responsible for responding and oversight of complaints, right? Or what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, disputes.
But disputes, yes. But when you have a commission, you know, you have a body of persons with different expertise and backgrounds that are reviewing the disputes and the complaints and giving and of course we know evaluating the law and applying it for and against also. And so far we've seen that most of the, from what I understand, most of the commissions are successful, you know, and for me, being in the legal field and knowing how vital it is to not just have one set of eyes, you want to give the complainants and the disputers the fair chance and opportunity to have their disputes resolved, so they don't have to maybe take it into court or that sort of thing. And you know, I just wanted to open the dialogue to see what your point of view is, because I think the commission, and I believe that this is my belief, you know, because I do listen a lot in Parliament and that sort of thing, and I had been advocating for this for quite some time. So I do believe that, you know, that there was a lot of thought gone in. There may have been a lot of, dialogue and involvement gone into saying, well, let's just see about doing this instead of going to the ombudsman, you know, where there's already so much weight. I commend the government for thinking, okay, I think this is so much of a weight that we need to give the public the best opportunity and advantage we can give them by establishing, potentially concluding that we're going to establish a commission, and hope that it will be a commission of, you know, fair and qualified people, and that it will be an easier process, a more approachable process, and then the general public will be able to access different peoples who may all have the same, you know, it's like a board, the information board, or the work, you know, that sort of thing. That's my thought process. But I just wanted to just throw that and see what your you know.
One thing that the commission idea or format does also is that, you know, the responsibility is shared by more than one person.
Exactly.
As how they conclude of what must be done here, whether it's, you know, a security deposit that's being disputed or whatever. You know, when you just have one person, you know, there's always that thing, well, you know, they don't like me, or, you know, that especially in a community that is still relatively small, like you know. And but if it's a shared thing, when you got three people making that decision, then, you know, just out of appearances, it looks fairer.
Right. And it takes away the liability, direct liability to that commissioner in and of that person's self, you know. And when we think about the labor tribunal and, you know, all those, they have different names, but they basically serve the same purpose. I think it was a sensible recommendation that they're putting forward, but let's see how it plays out. I'll leave you with that, Mr. Glidden, and thank you again for taking my call.
All right. You have a good afternoon.
All righty. You too. Bye-bye.
Yes, this is you know, another one of those items that the public is being asked to give their input on, and there are a lot of people, you know, renting apartments and homes in Cayman out of the mere fact that, you know, there's the population increase, the cost of owning your own home. And I guess, you know, people renting will always be a big part of, you know, our residential demographic. And, I've heard some, I guess you would call it horror stories from both landlords and tenants of when someone moves out or when they are evicted the things that happen from both sides. Landlords tell you, people move out and don't pay the rent. It's just one day they're gone, and or they move out and the place is wrecked. How many times have I heard that? Then on the other side, you hear from tenants who can't get their security deposit back, even though that they have left the place in good conditions, just as good as what they received it, minus any normal wear and tear, which really can't be part of that deposit, because you live in a place, there's normal wear and tear. Or other unreasonable actions by a landlord, either raising the rent multiple times in 1 year, not respecting their privacy, so forth. So this is something that is very much needed to be brought into force, and apparently, the law had been upgraded and modernized, but never enforced. It never been brought into force, and kind of just sat there, sitting on the shelf. And now this government is going to move to not only put what was passed back in, 2009, was it? Yeah, I think it was 2009 that the law was actually modernized, but then never brought into force. But they're going to put a few new things on it. For example, one of the things I saw was, that security deposit that every landlord, demands that a tenant put down before they moved in, that has to be held and interest being paid on it. Now, I don't know how that's going to go over, but that's what's on the table. And, when you stop and think about it, yeah, interest being paid on it would only be fair, because if they had not put that money down as a security deposit with the landlord, they would have been able, to put that in a savings account or in the credit union, or they would have been able to gain some kind of interest on it over the period of time that they rented the place. So that's one of the things that is being considered there. So once again, give the government your input of what should and should not be in this new tenant-landlord law. It is 2:30, and that means that's it for me for this afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered. Visit cineco.ky for your quote today.